Well, Indianapolis Public Schools is changing up how some kids get to school. It's all part of a plan to make up millions of dollars in the district's budget. News 8's David Williams breaks down what this means for your child. David.
Good evening to both of you. IPS says with this proposal, they want to save between $3 and $4 million in transportation costs. Under IPS's transportation proposal, some students could become walkers to school. Other students could have to use IndyGo as their primary way to and from school.
For the IndyGo bus riders, if they can make that a safe option for students, I think students having more options is a good thing.
IPS has picked some 9th through 12th graders to move off the yellow school bus and use IndyGo as their transportation to and from school. Those students' ID cards will have a free annual bus pass. They and their families would be able to opt in to IndyGo.
We know that we have a public transit system that can serve our students well. And so we believe we don't need to duplicate services if we have an existing system that can serve students well and also help us ensure that we're not having to negatively impact and reduce the quality of services in our school buildings.
IPS's proposal calls for the current walk zone policy to be executed at all K through 12 schools. That means children could have to walk to school if they live up to 1.5 miles or less from school, depending on grade level.
I think it's the school's job to provide safe transportation for the students. And, you know, K through 6 students, some of them may be able to walk 1 mile, but some may not. So I think I would prefer that they provide bus transportation for those students, continue to provide that.
If your child lives within walking distance, they could get transportation because of a medical condition or if they're prevented from getting to school safely.
Safety is still our #1 priority. And so in the ways that we have leveraged crossing guards at some of the schools who we've enforced that policy with this year, we'll continue to do that. If there are dangerous intersections or railroad crossings or, highway intersections and those kinds of things that would make safe travel not possible, then obviously we're going to take those considerations into regard and then make a different decision.
So Superintendent Johnson says the plan will be presented to the school board tomorrow, and the board will vote on the IndyGo part of the plan on April 29th. Now, between now and then, IPS will continue to keep engaging with families and the community, and actually IPS says they do not need board approval for the execution of the walk zone policy. That's because it already exists. By the way, affected families will be getting a letter from IPS. For now, live in Indianapolis, I'm David Williams. Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.